Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I was going to do a little different kind of video. I was going to build some workbenches in the shop and kind of like time lapse it and show you what I was doing. But I kind of got mad at the Big Blue hardware store and told them to cancel my order. So today I'm going to be pouring some shaky head jigs, and then we're going to use the fluid bed, and I'll show you how I powder paint them, and then we'll bake them up. And I may still do the workbench video maybe tomorrow, depends. So we'll just play that one by ear. But let's get back to what we're doing today, and I'll show you how I'm getting started. So we'll skim this off, we'll heat this mold up. The mold we're going to do today is the Shakey jig, and that's model SRH-GG-SLA. And this has the wire keepers, the little round wire keepers. I like that style instead of just like the little piece of lead that pops out like on the Randy Howell shaky heads, which I have some people that they prefer those over the screw lock type, so I make both. But me personally, I prefer the screw lock. But some people don't do this, but I like to pour the tops of my mold just to get them hotter faster. Let's see if I turn this, if I can stop that drip. Sometimes it works. There we go. It just reseats that little needle, whatever you want to call it. But see, I just pour the top of the mold, and then that should stick. Most of the time it'll stick, and you can flip it upside down and you can do the other side. So now we have hot lead in the middle and on the outside on each side. So just to show you, we're going to be using Baitmakerz 604 hooks today, and I'm going to do 3/0, 4/0, and 5/0, and then it's just to do it screw locks. This is just like model 2017. These are pretty cheap. We're gonna keep pouring these. But basically all you do is you put your little screw lock in. Some of these are a little different on how you do the screw locks. Obviously gloves are good for this, but with gloves on I don't have a whole lot of dexterity. So if you see there's a small little groove, let me see if I can find something. There's a small little groove right here, and that's where your screw lock piece fits. So this piece right here for your top, and that just goes right there, and that helps hold it in place. I have had these where I put them there and I closed the mold and it closed fine, and then for whatever reason the screw lock came out crooked. So I'm doing 5/0 hooks for the 3/8, and I'm doing 4/0 hooks for the 5/16, and I'm doing 3/0 hooks for the 1/4, and that's what I'm pouring today is the 3/8, the 5/16, and the 1/4. So when you put these in, you want this to lay on its side for the little screw lock. You can still get it in, let me show you. That's the little slot that the screw lock sits in. But you can have it in that slot. You can have it in this little hole, and it'll still pour crooked because it needs to be like side to side right here for the little hook. There we go. We got those 3 in. We're going to close it. She snapped. And There's no gap in between. Right here, here. That's what you're looking for. So these should be good to pour. So the reason I'm using these mats is this is a new countertop, and I'm trying not to burn it, especially when you pull your hooks out. Like if you have to remelt the lid off of it to re-pour it, and then you sit it down on your counter, it's gonna leave a burn mark. They look pretty cool, but I'm trying to make this countertop last. Alright, so I'm gonna pour just one right now, and that's just to see how hot my mold is, so I don't have to remelt multiple ones. And I'm not gonna bore you making 100 of these things. We're gonna make a few on camera, and then I get all the powder paints ready. Well, I think I'm only gonna do either green pumpkin or green pumpkin camo. So it's not like we're gonna have a bunch of colors set up. We're going to be using Protect green pumpkin for the shaky heads, and I'll just shake it up. You want to shake it up before you pour it in because it could settle in here. And then I usually do it just a hair over halfway in here. Let me turn the air off first before I make a mess. So, it's close. The one camera now, but it just goes in like so smooth. Different powders, different colors of the same powder, they will affect that fluid bed. Some like I think it's like the blaze orange. Oh, it's like watching a little lava thing. It's awesome. But you want to heat your stuff up. I just use pliers with a heat gun. You don't want to use a torch. And depending on how much lead you got, how much you're heating, is how many seconds you hold it over your heat gun. So it's gonna be a little loud, but let's get this started. When I'm done, I hang it on these. You can make these yourself, but it's gonna end up, these are already baked, so it's gonna end up looking like this. I try not to get much on the screw lock, but that goes in the plastic anyway, so you really don't see it. I need to separate these so I don't recook them. I have 3 of these. Obviously I need more, but let's get going. So you just kind of squish it in there and then tap it off. Depending on what I'm doing, I will cover the eyelets up. But I'm doing this so you can see, like, the eyelet looks okay on that. There's no problem. A lot of people don't like the paint on the eyelets. because it'll clog it up. But you can get these. I'll try to link these below. I can't remember where I got them, but these are amazing. They're eye cleaners, and you just stick it in there and you just work it back and forth. But as long as you have a nice even coat on your eyelet and you bake that paint, it's not going to affect your line at all. So to show you how to do the eyelets, I take a shrink tube, and you can buy this in bulk. It takes a little more effort because now you got to shrink that, right? So you just shrink the little tube in just on the eyelet. And they do make high temp silicone caps. Some people use. I don't like to use them because they fall off. Let me go get one of those and I'll show you. So a lot of people recommend these silicone caps, and maybe if I cut it shorter, it would stay on them. But you see, it fits on nice and snug, but now it blocks so much of your jig head. And it usually ends up falling off when you stick it in the fluid bed. So let me get this off so you can see. So if you can see that around the eyelet, it's I don't want to touch it, it's hot, but it didn't paint the head around the eyelet in that method. So I'm going to fix that. And then I'll pull this shrink tubing off and I'll show you how that one did. There you go. So that's the one that I just used the shrink tubing on, and it's absolutely perfect. So I don't personally recommend the little silicone high heat caps just for that reason. I mean, I guess if you could sit there and shave that down and make it thinner, but then you probably put it on and probably tear. So you do you. So I'm just gonna do all these pretty quick. It's gonna be boring watching the same thing over and over. And then I'll show you how I clamp them up and I cook them. Oh, one other thing. If you go to paint this and you put your jig head down in there and the paint is smoking, you have it way too hot. And you can try it cooler, and you can just redip this as many times as you want. I mean, obviously it's gonna over time start building up layer by layer, and it's gonna look weird because it's so fat. But once you do a few of these, you'll get the hang of it. I don't want to shut the heat gun off just yet because I'm going to show you on my underspin that I'm keeping that you can do it in these as well. And my heat gun goes through the cool cycle before it turns off, so it's kind of pointless to turn it off now. Sometimes you can't get all the paint back in these bottles when it's a new bottle of paint because it's so fluffy, so you rack it on the ground and settle it. And then it'll fit. So I want to make a go time underspin for me. This is one of my favorite colors. It's just this was from Ziner's. I believe it's just Protect powder, bought by bulk and then repackaged. I'm not really sure, but either way, I've noticed some of the Ziner stuff actually coats better than the Protect stuff, so I'm not exactly positive if it's the same as the Protect powder. So here's mine, and I'm gonna cover over that hook eye. Okay, so we got it fluffed up kinda. And it's a little heavy, but that's what you get when you don't use a fluid bed. It actually kind of covered one eye, but it's okay. I just wanted to show you guys that it will work. It just doesn't work as well. You can see that eye still has the dimple. It's I don't know if I have another one that's already coated ready for eyes. That has a dimple, but it's not the entire eye. Let's turn this off. Let me see if I have one. Well, I don't have one that's ready for eyes. It's already done, but this is the limited run color shift one. If you see the gills, you can see the little fin back here. You can see the gills for the eyes on both sides. And it just looks deep. It has like a little shadow. I can't really put this on my hand to show you, but ouch. Let's do these the same angle. You can see on this Go Time one, you don't have all that definition anymore. It just put it on so thick that it covers everything up. Now again, that also depends on what kind of jig head you're doing. Because some it really doesn't matter if there's no put that up. If there's no definition to it, you can just dip it right in and it's fine. Come on. Like these darter heads, you can dip these in the cup all day long and it's not going to mess these up because it's just literally like a bullet weight. let me get this cleaned up. I'll show you how I put them in my jig clamp so that we can bake them. And we'll end this video that was supposed to be short, that probably is going to be a little longer than I wanted. Okay, so you can get these jig clamps from TJ's Tackle, Barlow's Lure Parts. I think everybody has these. You can put them on two different ways. So I found out that one side of this, it's like high temp silicone or something in there. I'm not really sure. But one side of it, you can put this down. You just don't want to put the barb of your hook down too much. And you don't have to open them. So I'll try to keep them separated by size. I have enough clamps, that's no problem. I do need to get a bigger toaster oven though. But I got this one. It's actually for free with my Walmart points. Okay guys, they're done. Pull them out. I went ahead and put my underspin in there. But here are our shaky heads. They're still hot. It just finished. I don't know if I'll be able to hold it on the camera for long. But just like that, they're done. They look good. You don't have any runs or anything because you did it in a jig clamp with the head up. So until next time guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Help the channel grow. If you have any ideas for any videos you want done, just leave a comment below. I'll check them. The next one I'll probably do will probably be the workbenches in the shop, and like I said, I'll just time lapse that and just show you how I do things. And if you see something you think can be done better, leave a comment, let me know, because you're never done learning. Hey guys, just a reminder, for Father's Day, everything on hardyfishingco.com is 10% off. It's automatically applied to any HFC product. So go on there if you guys are wanting to see anything else that we make that you'd like a video on. Just drop us a comment.